This is the ANKERWORK M650 wireless microphone system. When I first heard Anker was making a wireless lavalier mic system, I kind of ignored it. But then I came across the spec sheet and the price, and I was kind of blown away by how much they crammed into this little set. It comes with 2 wireless mics that can connect to your camera, your phone, your tablet, and can even record internally. It does internal noise reduction, and something that's unique to this set is it's got alternate color caps to match your clothes. Link down in the doobly-doo if you want to get your own ANKERWORK M650. Do you guys have the Rode mics and the DJI mics?
Yeah, it's on the table.
Oh, okay.
Or the desk inside.
Oh. Dismantling the phone?
That's where I was at.
That's all I was like, go.
Okay, got the ANKERWORK, the DJI mic, the Rode Wireless Go 2. They're all on and recording. And now I'm going to read a script that ChatGPT helped me write to test these microphones. You can flip it around.
Thank you.
I don't need to see me. Okay, first let's test some plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Now test some sibilants. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sheena thinks Sheena thinks she shall sew a sheet. And next, some consonants. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Finally, we'll test the dynamics. Start with a whisper and gradually increase volume to a shout. Can you hear me now? How about now? Okay, first, let's test some plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Now, test some sibilants. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sheena thinks Sheena thinks she shall sew a sheet. And next, some consonants. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Finally, we'll test the dynamics. Start with a whisper and gradually increase volume to a shout. Can you hear me now? How about now? Okay. First, let's test some plosives. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. Now, test some sibilants. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sheena thinks Sheena thinks she shall sew a sheet. And next, some consonants. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Finally, we'll test the dynamics. Start with a whisper and gradually increase volume to a shout. Can you hear me now? How about now?
Yeah.
So what, you picked up both hand feel?
Yeah. They're both hefty. This one, I don't know that I like the
lid's a little
the lid as much.
It feels like the lid of the third-party ones you can get for the Rhodes.
Right.
This does feel like AirPod Pro case.
This one feels a lot more solid. I mean, I like the texture of the case a lot more, and the hinge feels slightly better to me.
It also, yeah, it's also smaller, mostly. I mean, like maybe volume-wise it's the same, but the way that it's distributed,
Yeah.
is a little bit nicer. But is it $80 more nicer?
I don't know, man. These ones vibrate. That's kind of cool.
But does that waste the battery? Is that going to burn the battery faster?
Yes.
Oh boy.
But I don't know. I don't have a good rebuttal to that one. I don't know, man.
I like how they're smaller though, because the circles, they're huge. 'Cause
Yeah.
these are like the same size as the Go's almost.
I like this shape a lot more than the Anker ones. Like this little tiny rectangle one, it's super easy to pop in and out of the case.
This is pretty easy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I do, yeah, okay, here's something I genuinely like about the Ankers.
yeah.
Not just me playing devil's advocate. I like that the clip is the magnet
Yes.
mounting bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that even then.
Because this whole mechanism right here of just pulling a magnet off
You're
is a
gonna-
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
You're going to lose the little magnet bit.
But I do like
Alright.
that even then with this clip, you can just rotate it to however you need the mic to be set up.
But really what really matters is how it sounds to me, at least. So I'm really excited. Let me finish offloading this stuff and we'll do the blind audio test.
Let's do it. Like, this feels pretty solid, though. I'm not going to lie. As much as I'm bragging on this guy, I do hate, this is such a personal preference, I hate the just glossy accents because it's like, it makes it look like a premium pair of headphones instead of like, you know, some lavs that are meant to get work done. It's just like, why did it have to be?
These are definitely like, the Anker ones are definitely like marketed towards like a trendy content creator.
Yeah, they got like the two-tone, you know, color.
I mean,
Yeah, it looks like more like a sunglasses.
Right.
like Kyle said, it does look like it's more for like a vlogger style because you can change out the faces.
I guess...
Although they all
True.
say ANKERWORK right across
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
face.
I guess the thing for me is like it just feels like they're cheaper and they know it, but they're trying to seem more expensive by adding,
Just a
you
little
know,
flare.
exactly, yeah. And it screams kind of inexpensive to me, but that's personal.
But also, just like I want to save some money. $330
Yeah.
versus $250. Like
Oh, yeah.
jumping up into that other $100 price point is a big deal, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And both of these, like, this is way better than the Rode, like, stupid little satchel they give you. Like this
And,
is
okay, and that's okay. So this is the tricky thing. Like the Rode one is fine if you get the third-party charging case, but that's $50. So then you're at the $300 point anyway, because this kit is $250, but basically you have to get the charging case to be on par. That said, the charging case will hold all the accessories,
yeah.
the fuzzies and the cables. So that's tricky because I've got to carry these in the bag,
Right.
so the fuzzies go with it.
But you know, that's third party, and
It isn't first party. It's not as nice.
so it's like if we're just talking about what you get out of the box with these guys, it's like,
What were you saying, Jeff?
Okay, so I've noticed both the DJI mics and the ANKERWORK mics. They both have a button on them that disrupts like a critical function of the microphone. So on the DJI mic, one press, and now you're not recording anymore. So you can accidentally
very
stop the
easy.
recording. Very easy. The Anker mic, you can accidentally just mute it with a single press.
Yeah.
Both of
There's
the-
a hold switch to disable the
Yeah.
buttons.
So it's like, that's awful.
There may be something in the receiver box that, at least in the ANKERWORK, I did not see, but possibly in the DJI, you could disable those buttons
Yeah.
remotely. So that is a pro for the Rode. There is just one button on it, but you have to long press it to turn it off. And I think the like default setting when you press it is just like it makes a marker in the recording, which is nice. Or that's at least what I have them set as right now. All right, you ready to hear these recordings?
Let's listen. I'm still in favor of these guys, but we haven't listened to them
No,
yet.
I know.
But,
Well, just from like looking,
yeah.
I just like these better because it's like, yeah,
It is the tiniest.
it's tiny.
Yeah.
And it's like it's great because if you need to hide, like that's what I don't like about the Rodes because like you can visibly see them and they're distracting.
And
For me.
I put gaff tape over the clips. Although you push in the gaff tape enough, the Rode deboss, it starts to poke through again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Did you figure out how to lock the record button?
Yes, I did. Okay, so in the menu, if you go other way, come on, and then you go all the way over to transmitter settings, and normally you'll be over here on low cut. Go over to record stop lock, and you turn that on. Now, this record button is not doing anything. If I turn it off, I should be able to stop it. Yeah. So, what I said before doesn't matter because you can disable the button, which is great.
And I did set those to just start recording as soon as you pull them out of the box.
Yeah.
That isn't on by default. But you can trigger the recording from here as well.
Yeah, it was right there. You can,
Yeah, you can start recording.
yeah. Do you have them labeled like 1, 2, 3? Do you know which one is which?
I'm just gonna play them for you.
Okay.
All right, Jeff's going first.
All right. You want me to record it so you can just?
Oh yeah, but don't look.
Yeah, I got you. Here, I'm off right here.
All right, you ready?
Let's go.
Here we go. Here's the first recording.
I think I got it.
So which one's your favorite? 1, 2, or 3?
I think 2.
Yeah.
I think 2 was my favorite. Number 1 was the worst sounding to me. And then 3 was a little worse than 2. 2 just felt much more present, like,
Okay.
a bit, I don't know if fuller is the right wording there, but just number 1 just felt a little weak compared to the other ones.
Yeah. Thin.
A little thin, yeah. And 3 was kind of whatever. I don't know. 1 and 2 felt like the most distinct, difference, and 3 is kind of like right in the middle of those two. So
Okay.
My ears.
Let's switch it up. Let's have Ben have a turn listening to these mics. Visual reactions.
I got a zoom in of your face too, so it's.
All right, Ben. You've heard all 3.
I personally like number 3 the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I should listen to them. I haven't.
Number 1, yeah, it's like missing. It's just like I don't know. It's not tinny, but it's missing bass.
Yeah.
But
Missing
like,
some presence.
so 2 and 3 has that, but I feel like 3 is a little bit punchier than 2. Maybe not good for like audio like wise, but just listening back for like if you just need the audio straight from camera.
Yeah. And I guess I should have prefaced. I did get their audio levels to be the same. So I did have to increase 2 just a tiny bit, and I had to increase 3. I forgot. Well, I guess I'll tell you. I know what they are. Number 1 was the Rhodes. I did not make any changes. Number 2 was the DJI. I did increase them I increased the volume just a tiny bit. I can't remember if I turned it down in the settings, but I definitely turned number 3, the ANKERWORKS, the M650s, down because one of the things I was filming on Saturday, people were singing really loud, and I got worried, so I turned it down to minus 9 dB. So I actually had to increase this one quite a bit. Maybe I should have done the test again, but I do want to. Now I want to listen now that I've heard your thoughts. I think in terms of the plosives, all 3 probably do a good job with their fuzzies on. Yeah, I mean that's what the Rode Wireless Go's sound like. I've heard those a bunch. Now the Rode ones were in the middle of. And I talked right in the middle. I tried to talk over them to balance it. So maybe some of the presence is because this one was the middle mic. Yeah, the ANKERWORK and the DJI are very close. It's like I almost want to listen to the DJI one more time. The DJI has a little more high end, a little more sibilance than the ANKERWORK. I think I like the ANKERWORK the most as well. Yeah. Like you can dial back some of the harshness and sibilance in the DJI. Like that would be easy to do with the EQ, but just like straight out. And then I had to increase the volume a bit on these ones. I liked the way these ones sounded. That said, I'm going to be happy to use the DJIs. I'm excited that we got them at CMAC, and we're going to put them to use. That said, the Rode Wireless Go's aren't bad. These are better. But also this one technically costs more. This one is the overall like holistic system, the cheapest. This is the same price, but I highly recommend getting the charging case for them. So, and these were the original. Rode came out with the original Rode Wireless Go OGs. I bought 2 of those. They served me really well. I bought 2 sets of these. They still serve me well. And it's pretty easy to EQ, bring in some of the presence, bring in some of the bass back into that. So it's not like if you have these, you gotta throw them away and get the ANKERWORKS or the DJ. Like they're fine. Get the charging case, but that's it. But yeah, that was fun. That was really cool. Let's go do some work. The $80.
Yeah. So the biggest question is like between these two, personal opinion, like is the $80 worth going with the DJI ones over the Anker ones? And I was saying, like, in the grand scheme of video making, $80 is nothing compared to everything else. So I feel like the convenience factor of being able to disable this record button and not have any accidental button presses or failures is worth the peace of mind to spend the extra $80, even if the sound quality between the two is very similar.
The case is smaller, the unit is smaller, a little bit easier to hide. But yeah, but $80 does matter to some people. So.
Oh yeah, I think if like you need your money to go, the furthest it can, and you're just worried about sound quality, these are actually really good. I hope maybe there's a way through software we can disable this, or that Anker can push out an update to disable these guys.
Yeah, do a firmware update. Yeah.
But yeah, personal preference. But.
Final thoughts, Ben?
Damn. No, because everything Jeff said is 100% correct. But I was not expecting that sound from the Ankers at all. It sounded great. But yeah, the mispressing of the buttons is a big one. I think personally, yeah, I would go for DJI too. But just then, like, if you're starting off and you just have a budget to go for, I would get these. Like, these are perfectly fine. Yeah, you lose 32-bit float compared to these, but like...
No 32-bit float on any of them.
No?
No, they're all 24.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so that's another weird thing about the Rode Central app is it's got like a 32-bit float export option, but they do not record in 32-bit float.
Oh, then yeah, no. I would go for these because of the case, like, Rode lost it. I don't know.
They were first, and DJI and ANKERWORK came for their bag.
What'll be interesting to see is if the next generation of Goes sort of remedies this terrible pouch with something like this, and then that'll be the real test.
And honestly, whoever does 32-bit float first is gonna be
100%.
Gonna take over, eat everybody's lunch.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun.
One debt to society later.
Okay, it's been about a week, and I've used the ANKERWORK M650 quite a bit more, and I don't think they're going to overtake my Rode Wireless Goes. I've had a couple of issues. Now, one of them was user error, and I figured it out. I hit record on both of these, and then I didn't have a camera. I just wanted to record audio. But then I put the receiver back in the box, and I killed the recordings. And then I didn't have the recordings. So that's my bad. But that's not the way I would have expected this to work. I would have thought, I turn this on, I hit record, I can put the receiver back in the box, and then these are just recording. But they weren't. And I lost the whole recording. So that was a big bummer. Now, I could have, tested this beforehand, and I guess that's my fault. But it didn't explain that in any of the instructions for this. The second really big ding on this is the internal clock runs fast. The recordings don't line up. The internal recordings are fast. They don't sync up. I did a 10-minute video, and I wanted to pull the recording. I almost always grab the recording from my Rode Wireless Goes and sync it up, just because this is the best sound. The mic and the recording inside of it, that's the best sounding version. And I like to bring that in and use it. And it's like, even at 10 minutes, it was like a quarter of a second fast. And then I did a 30-minute recording with it, and the video was like 2 seconds out of sync at the end. If I synced up the beginning, the end of the video and the audio were out of sync. Plus, I also noticed I can't change the clock. Like, the timestamp of the recordings is like a day early. And I don't know how to change the clock. In the Rode Wireless Goes, I can plug them into the computer. I can plug it into Rode Central and hit update clock. And honestly, every time I check it, it's pretty close. It's not that far out of sync. And then the DJI mics, you can go into the little touch screen on the receiver. You can use this little thing and dial in the time, make sure the time is correct. I don't see that on the ANKERWORKs, and the time is off, and it just kind of emphasizes the idea that the clock is too fast on this, and the audio gets out of sync. So those two hits against the ANKERWORK M650 are keeping me from using this as like my full-time audio system. On the flip side, if you are going to be using this with your tablet or phone, I think these sound really good. If you're always going to record in the camera, this is perfectly fine. But almost everyone is making portable wireless mics. Rode and DJI are kind of the big ones, but like Hollyland and Comica and the company that starts with an S, whose name is escaping me right now, they all have these little portable wireless lavs. And I think this was a good attempt, basically putting all of the features of the more expensive DJI mic at the price point of the Rode Wireless Go's that don't have the charging case, don't have the little doodads to plug into your phone or tablet, and are pretty easy to grab the WAV files off of. Although, just the other day, Rode announced that they are going to come out with a firmware update that's going to allow you to just plug in the Rode Wireless Go's and grab the WAV files. That said, doing the firmware updates and updating the clock in Rode Central app is like great. And one of the things that I actually like about the Rode Wireless Go mics. But I think ANKERWORK needs a firmware update, although I don't know how you would do it because you plug it in and it's just what it is, to fix the clock and possibly maybe update the noise reduction. Noise reduction, like it works, but it's not great. I've mostly used it with the noise reduction off. But I think I would, if I had to buy something today and use it as my main wireless lavalier system, I'd probably buy the Rode Wireless Go's again with the charging case. And ZG Cine just came out with an updated version of this charging case for the Rode Wireless Go's that actually gives you storage for the accessories. Although I could fit the Rode Wireless Go's with the wind filter in here and charge them and store them. The only thing I think I couldn't really fit in here was was all the cables. But they did come out with a version that does hold everything. That's like $50. So even then, you can buy the updated version of the charge case and the Rode Wireless Go's for still cheaper than the DJI mics. The only thing you're really missing at that point is the connectivity to your phone. But even then, I don't really use that much. I wish these little holders, they just kind of sit in with friction. I wish there was more of a positive magnet connection to the case. And although it's a cool gimmick that you can change the ANKERWORK cap on here to a different color, it still says ANKERWORK. Give us a blank one. If I were to keep using these every day, I'd probably put some gaffer tape on this, just like I did my Rode Wireless Go's. So it's fine. I do still really admire the fact that the clip is the magnet part. So the clip stays on the thingy and the magnet just clips on, which means you can rotate the direction of the clip. Really, really like that. I think that's something that other competitors could take away, or Anker can keep for an update of the M650s. All right, that's it. Would I buy the M650s again? Probably not, unless they do a firmware update to fix the clock and the time. Having my files be out of sync over time is not good. But if you absolutely need a mic to plug directly into your camera, directly in your phone or tablet all the time, this could work. But at that point, I think there are cheaper options. So that's it. My final thoughts on the ANKERWORK M650s. I hope you enjoyed it. If somehow I still convinced you to buy ANKERWORK M650s, there'll be a link down in the doobly-doo. But rather, you'd probably want to get the Rode Wireless Go's or the DJI mic. I'll put the links for those down in the doobly-doos. And I want to close this with, I'm really excited that Deity has announced wireless lavs that record 32-bit float in the transmitters. 24-bit, pretty solid, but 32-bit float would just like really put my mind at ease. They have not announced what the price is, and it's also a more traditional mic pack where the mic isn't built into the pack. You would have the pack on your belt and then run a lav through your shirt, which is fine. I would still do that for like situations where I need to hide the lav, but even then I've hidden the Rode Wireless Go lavs on someone as well, so that works as well. But I'm very interested to see what Deity prices these transmitters at. There's only one other competitor that's doing 32-bit float on a wireless transmitter, and its option is like $2,000. So if Deity can really aggressively price their 32-bit float recording transmitters, that could be a real game changer. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and if you want to see me test that, let me know. Anyways, that's it for this one. I will see you next time. Peace.